Hello, welcome to this French lesson. Today we're going to be talking about things that you like and dislike, and you're going to learn something about the arguably best annual sporting event, which is the Tour de France. So the title for today's lesson is La vie d'un cycliste du Tour de France. There it is, there's the logo that they use for the Tour de France. So a little bit of background information, first of all, on what it actually is. It's useful to know these sorts of things. It's a big part of French culture. Some of you might be interested in it already. Okay, might have followed it before. Anyway, here we go. So le Tour de France a commencé en 1903, l'idée du journaliste Gilles Lefebvre. Maintenant, la course a lieu chaque année au mois de juillet. Le tracé est différent tous les ans et la course finit toujours sur la célèbre avenue des Champs-Élysées à Paris. Chaque journée du Tour s'appelle une étape. On note les temps de tous les cyclistes pour toutes les étapes et à la fin de la dernière étape, on les totalise pour décider du vainqueur. Le leader du classement général en tombe à la droite de porter le maillot jaune, alors que le leader du classement par points porte le maillot vert. Il y a aussi le maillot blanc à points rouges pour le leader du classement de la montagne et le maillot blanc pour le meilleur cycliste de 25 ans ou moins. So, lots of French there. Don't worry if you didn't understand much of it. There's just some simple questions for you to see if you can work out the answers to. So, have a little look at these questions. Number one, when did the Tour de France begin and whose idea was it? You can write it down if you want to. If not, you can just answer the question aloud. If you want to write your answers down, you can pause the video. I will be saying what the answers are after a brief pause. So question one, when did the Tour de France begin and whose idea was it? Pause it now if you want to write down your answer. Okay, so it was 1903, of course, and it was the idea of a journalist called Gilles Lefebvre. Question two, when does the Tour de France take place? Pause the video if you want to write down your answer. Okay, so the answer to that question is in July, juillet. Okay, I'll just move my mouse. There it is, the word juillet, in the month of July, au mois de juillet. And it's every year. Chaque année means every year. On to question three. What happens on the Champs-Élysées? It's that famous avenue in Paris. Pause the video if you want to write down your answer. Okay, so what happens on the Champs-Élysées is they always finish. Okay, so they always finish, toujours fini, on the famous avenue of the Champs-Élysées in Paris. Okay, so even though the routes every year are different, okay, la tracé is the route that they go, the course, they're different all years, okay, but the final race is always in the middle of Paris and they finish on the Champs-Élysées. Question four, how is the winner of the Tour de France decided? Pause the video if you want to write down your answer. Okay, so I'll explain this little paragraph here. So every day, okay, is called a stage, une étape, and they note down the times of all the cyclists at the end of each stage. Okay, so et à la fin de la dernière étape, at the end of the last stage, they totalize, okay, all the times. So it's all the times added together across the different stages. Okay, so that is the how they decide the winner of the Tour de France, and the winner, of course, gets the maillot vert. No, he doesn't. He gets the maillot blanc. No, he doesn't. He gets the, do you know it? It's that word, le maillot jaune. Okay, it's the famous yellow jersey that the cyclist who wins receives. Okay, a couple of pictures. So, en 1903, c'est l'idée du journaliste Henri Desgranges de créer le Tour de France. Okay, there he is. Okay, record man des 100 km au bicyclette. Okay, so here is that text all over again. I'm just going to move my picture out of the way so you can see it all clearly. There we are. Okay, so this time we're going to try and find some of the words. Okay, so these are important words associated with the Tour de France. And I started you off with a letter that the words begin with, or the first couple of letters. Okay, so I want you to pause the video, and then I want you to see if you can find those words and write them down on the piece of paper that you're using or in a book. Okay, so pause the video now and see if you can work out those words. Okay, right. So let's start and let's go through them. So you have the classification. Well, that's a nice, easy cognate because there you have the classement. Okay, classement, that word there. Then we have the race. Okay, which is la course. Okay, la course. Let's just see if we can find that word in the text. Let's have a look. Where is it? I'm not finding it at the moment. Where is la course? La course. No, not on there. That's strange. Okay. Ah, there it is. Sorry. The top. Right at the very top. Maintenant la course. Okay, the route, the word for the route, so the actual, the way that they go, okay, is le tracé. Okay, we had that word on the first slide, didn't we? Okay, so le tracé. Here it is, so le tracé there. Stage is an étape. There's that word. Okay, étape is a stage. Times, okay, they are les temps, les temps. T-E-M-P-S. Let's find that word. There it is. Okay, on note les temps de tout. And the winner is le vainqueur. Le vainqueur, which is okay, where's the vainqueur? Let me find it on my text there. Okay, so décédé du vainqueur. That's the word for the winner. Okay, now you may have already worked out, and I've already just mentioned it, that there are different jerseys, okay, for the winners of different parts of the Tour de France. So it'd be a bit boring if it was all about the guy who wins the overall competition. Okay, so there are different jerseys awarded to people for doing different things in the Tour de France as well, to make things more interesting. Okay, so what I want you to do is see if you can write down the different jerseys down here on the left-hand side, okay, and who gets them. Okay, so there are 4 different jerseys. See if you can work out by reading the text again who gets which jersey. Okay, pause the video now and see if you can write down the answers. Okay, we're going to carry on. So there's a little picture of the different colors. Okay, although they do not wear shorts like that, it would be very uncomfortable if they were to do so. So the different jerseys, let me go through them in turn. So first of all, we have the le maillot jaune. Okay, so the yellow jersey, and that's the overall leader. Okay, they call it the classement général. Okay, so the person who's done every stage, time added together then in the shortest time. Okay, then we have the le maillot vert, okay, which is the sort of the second most important one. That's the points jersey, and that's given to the best sprinter, because at the end of the stage, okay, there's usually a sprint finish, very exciting, and you get points for doing that. And there's also sprints during the course of a race as well to try to make things more interesting. So if you get those points, you stand a good chance of becoming the maillot vert, the green jersey. Then the other two, you've got le maillot blanc à pois rouge. Okay, so it's the white one with the red spots, and that's the mountain, the king of the mountains, they call it. Okay, so when they go up the mountains, they got the Alps and the Pyrenees and elsewhere, and you get points for doing that. Okay, and if you get the most number of those points, you become the king of the mountains and get to wear the polka dot jersey, the one with the white and the red spots. And finally, le maillot blanc, okay, which is a white jersey, is for the best cyclist. Le meilleur means best cyclist de 25 ans ou moins, 25 years of age and left and less. Okay, so that's because cyclists tend to peak when they're in their late 20s or 30s. There are those colors. Okay, so moving on to maybe some things that you're more familiar in your French lessons. So this is a typical sentence builder. So if you look over here on the left-hand side, you've got your typical expressions for saying what you like, okay, or don't like to do. So j'adore, I love, j'aime beaucoup, I like a lot, j'aime, simply I like, je n'aime pas beaucoup, I don't like much, je n'aime pas, I don't like, je déteste, I hate, and je préfère, I prefer. Okay, and with all of those, you use an infinitive verb. Okay, so for example, I love to do would be j'adore faire. Okay, I like to eat, j'aime manger. Okay, then we have boire, aller. Now these two, in case you're not too sure, me lever means to get up, and me coucher means to go to bed. And then in this next column, where my mouse is, you've got the activities themselves. So for example, if I wanted to say, I love cycling, I would say, j'adore faire du vélo. Okay, so you just go across from the verb to the words that are in the box alongside. Okay, so manger, to eat, and then you've got des légumes. Légumes are vegetables. Du poulet, chicken, pâte, meaning pasta, and riz, meaning rice. Okay. And then, of course, we're wanting to try and make things more interesting, trying to extend our French sentences. So we're going to have a linking word. So, mais. Mais means but. A, of course, and. Parce que and car both mean because. And then you'll see what I've done is I've put the same again. Okay, so how would I say I love to go cycling, but I don't much like drinking 10 litres of water every day? I would say j'adore faire du vélo, mais je n'aime pas beaucoup boire 10 litres d'eau par jour. Okay, one for you to think about. So how would you say I like to eat, or I like eating vegetables, and I love eating pasta? How would you say that? Okay, so that phrase again, I like eating vegetables and I love eating pasta. Okay, so you should have said j'aime manger des légumes et j'adore manger des pâtes. Let's try another one, shall we? So what about something I don't like? So I don't like going by coach because I prefer going by plane. Okay, so one more time. I don't like going by coach because I prefer going by plane. Okay, so that one was je n'aime pas aller en autocar parce que je préfère aller en avion. Okay, so this is how we're going to be building up our sentences later on. And I've got some useful adjectives underneath. Dur, meaning hard. Passionnant, exciting. And fatigant, meaning tiring. Hello. Have you come to do some... Pardon?
Where's the test link?
Possibly here, but not right now, boys. Okay. Okay. Sorry for the interruption. I am presenting this at school. Okay, so how do we say this? These phrases. So I like, I don't like. So say the phrase aloud. Well done. J'aime or je n'aime pas. Okay, so repeat it after me. J'aime, je n'aime pas. Doing cycling. We say doing cycling. We actually, of course, say cycling in English. Faire du vélo. Faire du vélo is cycling. How would you say I love cycling? That's right. J'adore faire du vélo. I hate going. Je déteste aller. I love going by coach. J'adore aller en autocar. I don't like much, or I don't much like. Je n'aime pas beaucoup. How do you say this? I don't much like eating fruit. Je n'aime pas beaucoup manger des fruits. Okay, did you get the pronunciation? Je n'aime pas beaucoup manger des fruits. Early. No, I didn't go over this one when I showed you the vocabulary earlier, so maybe you might remember this one from another lesson. If not, it's tôt. Okay, so early means tôt. Getting up early. So you start with me, and then you have lever tôt. So getting up early is me lever tôt. Put it all together. I don't like getting up early. Je n'aime pas me lever tôt. Well done if you got that one. Next one, I like drinking water. Or it could be I like drinking water, but here it's I like drinking water. J'aime boire de l'eau. I prefer. Je préfère. Note how the accents go. One up, one down. Je préfère. I prefer drinking wine. Je préfère boire du vin. Because? Parce que. or car. Okay, a few cycling terms here. So these are words that you'll see in the text that you're going to be reading in a minute. I suggest that you pause the video to give yourselves time to just read them through carefully. If you want to write them down, you can also write them down at this stage. Okay, so pause the video. Okay, I'm going to just read them aloud just so that you can hear how the words are pronounced. So, une équipe is a team, and there are different teams in the tour. You don't ride for your country; you ride for a team. They're often sponsored by big multinational companies, like, for example, we had Team Ineos, the UK team. They used to be Team Sky. Yeah, now they're Team Ineos. Le maillot jaune, that's the yellow jersey, of course. Une étape de montagne would be a stage in the mountains. Contre la montre, literally against the clock. Okay, that's a time trial. So there's always a couple of time trials in the Tour de France. La course is the route that the race traces, so on a particular stage. L'étape is the word for the stage itself. Okay, so there are about 20 days of stages. Le peloton, that's the main group of riders. So sometimes you'll get cyclists sort of break away from the main group, but usually there is one large group of riders because it's more efficient to ride as a big bunch. Okay, and that's called le peloton. You have une étape de plaine, okay, which is a flat stage, and they use this sort of English term GC. Okay, so general classification. So that's the overall time in the tour. So you hear people mention GC riders. Okay, so they're the guys who are in with the chance of a higher position overall. Okay, so what we're going to move on to is a conversation. Okay, so that's what we've been building up to. You're going to be actually imagining you are this French cyclist called Christophe Laporte, and you're talking about riding in the Tour de France. Okay, and I'm going to be playing the role of a journalist who's interviewing you. So I'm going to read through the French, follow the French first, okay, and then read the English on the right-hand side to check you understand it. Okay, so it's important that you follow the French words on the left-hand side before looking at the English. So just listen to me. Je suis cycliste professionnel pour l'équipe Cofidis. Le Tour de France, c'est très dur, mais j'adore faire du vélo et c'est très passionnant. Je suis sprinter, donc je préfère les étapes de plaine. Les montagnes sont belles, mais je n'aime pas beaucoup faire du vélo dans les montagnes. Je me lève tôt tous les jours, mais ce n'est pas un problème, car je n'aime pas faire la grasse matinée. Pour le petit déjeuner, je mange des céréales, un œuf, un fruit et du pain. J'adore boire du café fort et j'aime beaucoup des céréales. Pendant la course, je bois 10 litres d'eau par jour. Après les étapes, je bois des boissons protéinées. J'aime boire des boissons protéinées, mais je n'aime pas boire beaucoup de l'eau parce que c'est ennuyeux. Sur le vélo, je mange des gels, des pâtes de fruits ou des barres de céréales. J'aime les barres de céréales, mais je n'aime pas les gels. Okay, so take time now to read the English. Pause the video. I'll be moving on to the next slide in about 5 seconds time, so it's important that you pause it to familiarize yourself with the text. Okay, I'm going to move on to the next slide. Okay, so here is the rest of this. So, la vie d'un cycliste du Tour de France, the life of a Tour de France cyclist. Après les étapes, je parle avec les journalistes ou avec les autres cyclistes. Normalement, nous allons en autocar à une autre ville ou à un hôtel. Et parfois, nous allons en avion. Je n'aime pas aller en avion parce que c'est fatigant. Et j'aime aller en autocar parce que c'est relaxant. Le soir, je dîne avec mon équipe. Je dois faire un régime strict. J'aime manger du poisson, du poulet et des légumes, mais je n'aime pas beaucoup manger tous les jours du riz et des pâtes. Pour le dessert, je mange un fruit, mais je préfère manger du fromage et des gâteaux. Je me couche avant 10 heures. C'est important de dormir bien pour avoir d'énergie. Cependant, je n'aime pas me coucher tôt, car je préfère jouer au Xbox avec mes amis ou regarder la télé. Okay, so again, pause the video, have a read through the English to check if you understand it. And in 10 seconds, I will move the slide on to our conversation. Okay, on to the next slide. So you're going to play the role of Christoph, and I am a journalist asking you questions. Answer as quickly as you can using the text to help if you need to. Pause the video if you need more time. Try to say your answers out aloud as if you're having a genuine conversation. So, just to repeat, this is what you have just seen. So this is Christoph talking about his life as a Tour de France cyclist. And here's the first question. Bonjour, comment t'appelles-tu? Hopefully you said, je m'appelle Christophe Laporte. Okay, as it says up there, it's Christophe Laporte. So remember, you are playing Christophe Laporte and you will see your script in purple. So you'll be choosing your answers from the text here. Faire du vélo, c'est dur et très fatigant. Est-ce que tu aimes faire du vélo? And you said, oui, j'adore faire du vélo. Pourquoi? Pourquoi est-ce que tu aimes faire du vélo? C'est passionnant. Faire du vélo, c'est très passionnant. Et Christophe, est-ce que tu aimes faire des étapes de montagne? Non, je n'aime pas beaucoup faire du vélo dans les montagnes. Je n'aime pas faire des étapes de montagne. Okay, so we're carrying on with the interview. So here is Christoph's, what Christophe says. So je me lève tôt tous les jours, mais ce n'est pas un problème car je n'aime pas faire la grasse matinée. Pour le petit déjeuner, je mange des céréales, un œuf, un fruit et du pain. J'adore boire du café fort et j'aime beaucoup des céréales. If you remember, la grasse matinée is to have a lie-in. Okay. Et une journée typique, est-ce que tu fais la grasse matinée? Non, je me lève tôt. Je n'aime pas faire la grasse matinée. Et qu'est-ce que tu manges pour le petit déjeuner? Je mange des céréales, un œuf, un fruit et du pain. Qu'est-ce que tu aimes manger? Des céréales. J'aime beaucoup manger des céréales. Et à boire? Tu bois des boisson protéinée? Non, je bois du café. Okay, so now he's talking about what he does during the race. Pendant la course, je bois 10 litres d'eau par jour. Après les étapes, je bois des boissons protéinées. J'aime boire des boissons protéinées, mais je n'aime pas boire beaucoup de l'eau parce que c'est ennuyeux. Sur le vélo, je mange des gels, des pâtes de fruits et des barres de céréales. Pâtes de fruits are these sort of fruit, bits of sort of squashed together fruit, really, okay, full of energy. J'aime les barres de céréales, mais je n'aime pas les gels. Christophe, tu bois beaucoup de l'eau pendant une étape? Tu bois combien de litres d'eau? « 10 litres. Je bois 10 litres d'eau. C'est beaucoup. Et après les étapes, tu bois de la bière ou du vin? Non, je bois des boissons protéinées. Qu'est-ce que tu préfères boire? Des boissons protéinées. Je préfère boire des boissons protéinées. Et à manger. Qu'est-ce que tu aimes manger pendant une étape? Les barres de céréales. J'aime manger les barres de céréales. Après les étapes, je parle avec les journalistes ou avec les autres cyclistes. Normalement, nous allons en autocar à une autre ville ou à un hôtel. Et parfois, nous allons en avion. Je n'aime pas aller en avion parce que c'est fatigant. Et j'aime aller en autocar parce que c'est relaxant. Alors, après les étapes, comment vas-tu normalement aux autres villes ou aux autres pays? En autocar. Normalement, nous allons en autocar. Est-ce que tu aimes voyager en autocar? Oui, j'aime aller en autocar. Et pourquoi? Pourquoi est-ce que tu aimes aller en autocar? C'est relaxant. Parce que c'est relaxant. Le soir, je dîne avec mon équipe. Je dois faire un régime strict. J'aime manger du poisson, du poulet et des légumes. Mais je n'aime pas beaucoup manger tous les jours du riz et des pâtes. Pour le dessert, je mange un fruit, mais je préfère manger du fromage et des gâteaux. Et le soir, j'adore manger du fast-food. Est-ce que tu manges des hamburgers et des frites après une étape? Non, je dois faire un régime strict. C'est ennuyeux. Est-ce que tu peux manger de la viande? Oui, je mange du poulet et du poisson. Qu'est-ce que tu n'aimes pas manger? Du riz et des pâtes. Je n'aime pas beaucoup manger tous les jours du riz et des pâtes. Et pour le dessert, que manges-tu pour le dessert? un fruit. Je mange un fruit. And the final part of the conversation. Je me couche avant 10 heures. C'est important de dormir bien pour avoir d'énergie. Cependant, je n'aime pas me coucher tôt, car je préfère jouer au Xbox avec mes amis ou regarder la télé. Et pour fin, à quelle heure tu te couches? Avant 10 heures. Quelle barbe! Est-ce que tu préfères te lever plus tard ou plus tôt? That should say, est-ce que tu préfères te coucher plus tard ou plus tôt? Je préfère me coucher plus tard. Because of course, te lever means to get up, and me coucher means to go to bed. Pourquoi? Qu'est-ce que tu voudrais faire le soir? Jouer au Xbox ou regarder la télé. Merci Christophe. What would you say to respond appropriately? Au revoir, hopefully. Okay, so here we are back to the original sentence builder. Okay, and what you're going to do now is to make up some of your own sentences, talking about things that maybe you like to do, don't like to do, and linking them together with those all-important connectives here in the middle, mais, et, parce que, and car. Try to make your writing as interesting as possible. So try to concentrate on using the phrases to say what you like and dislike, okay, using a range of those rather than just simply going for a list of different activities. Okay, it's important to use those particularly for the GCSE. Okay, and then linking in something positive, maybe with something negative, okay, with the phrases and structures in the middle. You can, of course, add in these adjectives and any other words that you know. Okay, so I'm going to end the recording now, okay, but I would like you to just spend some time using the sentence builder to construct some of your own sentences to practice the French that we've been learning. Au revoir.